If you're looking for real ways to make extra money, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know, so stick around until the end. Let's get started.
Welcome to The Explainer. So, look, if you've spent any time online recently, you already know LinkedIn isn't just some dusty digital resume anymore. It is an absolute goldmine for personal branding and B2B growth. But while everyone else is just talking about posting more, there's a much quieter, highly lucrative opportunity sitting right in front of us. Our sources today break down a really dense 8-step document, and we're going to see how it completely transforms into a highly actionable blueprint. We're talking about building a LinkedIn content service business from absolute zero to a full-fledged agency. Let's dive in.
Here's our roadmap for today based on the source guide. We're going to cover the LinkedIn service opportunity, how to niche down and stand out, landing highly paid clients, delivery and ethical practices, and finally, scaling that up to agency income.
Okay, starting off with Section 1, the LinkedIn service opportunity.
So why exactly are professionals, entrepreneurs, and massive companies eagerly pulling out their wallets to pay for LinkedIn services right now? Well, it's simple. They want visibility and they want leads. The source material provides a literal step-by-step guide to building an income around this exact need. And the biggest mistake freelancers make here? Just saying, hey, I'll write your posts. You literally need to stop saying that. Instead, you have to start packaging tangible, valuable solutions. Because clients, they don't want to buy words. They want to buy actual business results.
You aren't just a writer anymore, you're a problem solver. You can offer distinct, measurable packages. Think about it. You could ghostwrite for a founder who has brilliant ideas, but, terrible typing skills. They provide the raw insights, and you craft the engaging content. Or you might sell high-level content strategy, where you're auditing profiles and building out monthly calendars. There's profile optimization, comment engagement for building community, managing newsletters, or even taking a client's podcast and repurposing it into short text posts. Better yet, you wrap all of that up into a comprehensive, done-for-you monthly subscription. You are selling a tailored engine for their growth.
Which brings us to Section 2, niche down and stand out. The harsh reality is you absolutely cannot sell a premium marketing service if you don't look the part yourself. I mean, clients will only hire you if they see you successfully doing it for yourself first, right? Your own profile literally must serve as undeniable proof of your skill and your active networking abilities. The blueprint highly recommends committing to a consistent presence. That means posting 3 to 5 times a week, sharing your insights about content strategy, writing tips, and sharing anonymized client success stories. You also have to optimize your own headline to clearly state exactly what you do. Something punchy like, I help founders build authority and leads on LinkedIn.
The source highlights a really stark contrast when it comes to positioning. Generalists compete on price and race to the bottom, while specialists earn premiums. You have to pick a niche you actually understand. This could be B2B SaaS founders, executive coaches, real estate investors, HR consultants, financial advisors, maybe marketing agency owners. Choosing one of these highly specific lanes is exactly what allows you to command top dollar instead of just, fighting over scraps.
Once you identify that ideal client, you've got to tailor your messaging to their very specific needs. Look at how incredibly targeted this phrasing is. I help B2B SaaS founders attract inbound leads with story-driven LinkedIn content. Boom! When an executive coach or a software founder reads a pitch tailored exactly to their pain points like that, your service goes from a yeah, maybe later to an irresistible, absolute, immediate need.
All right, moving into Section 3, landing highly paid clients.
Now, this is arguably the most crucial part of our explainer. How do you actually move away from the anxiety of hourly billing and start landing these lucrative retainers? Well, you absolutely must price based on value and clear deliverables. For example, a starter package, which is just optimizing a profile, writing 8 posts a month, and doing some basic engagement, that runs about $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Step it up to a standard retainer with 12 to 16 posts and a content calendar, and that jumps to between $2,500 and $5,000. And a premium ghostwriting package, the one featuring daily posts, a newsletter, and strategy calls, surprisingly, that commands $5,000 to upwards of $10,000 a month. Pricing this way creates predictable, high-income retainers based entirely on the value you are providing.
Of course, seeing all these numbers is fantastic, but it naturally leads us to the million-dollar question. How do you actually find these clients who are willing to pay these retainers?
So the source outlines 5 specific acquisition methods, and they lean heavily on LinkedIn itself. First, you can generate inbound leads through your own stellar content by just adding a soft call to action. Second, you can send personalized outbound direct messages. Third, you can literally use the search bar to look up phrases like hiring ghostwriter, filter by posts, and reach out within hours of someone's request. Fourth is building referral partnerships with people like web designers or business coaches who share your exact ideal client. And finally, you can actually use freelance platforms like Upwork as a starting ground simply by showcasing highly specific LinkedIn writing samples.
If you're going that outbound route, the blueprint gives us this exact literal DM script. The process goes like this. You find target profiles, engage with their posts organically for a week, and then you send a voice note or a message with this exact phrase. I've been following your content and have a few ideas to increase engagement. Open to a quick chat? It's non-threatening, it provides immediate value, and honestly, it's a tangible tactic you can use today. That takes us to Section 4, Delivery and Ethical Practices.
Look, to keep that $5,000 a month client happy without completely losing your mind, having a smooth process is absolutely key. It starts by sending a detailed onboarding questionnaire to really understand their voice and their absolute no-goes. Next, you set up a centralized content dashboard using something like Notion or Google Sheets to make approvals super easy. After that, and guys, this is vital, you record a voice of customer call. You just let them talk naturally about their expertise, and you actively extract their authentic language and stories from that recording. Finally, you report the results monthly, follower growth, impressions, and most importantly, the inbound leads.
Now, the source also outlines some very clear, non-negotiable boundaries for delivery. For instance, you absolutely must get written permission to use a client's results in your portfolio, and you should anonymize them if necessary. The guide also strongly advises against using bots or fake accounts to auto-engage, pointing out that real, human-driven engagement is the absolute foundation of trust on the platform. It also recommends being completely transparent about the whole ghostwriting process. The ideas are always the client's. You are simply the one shaping the message for the platform.
And our final section, Section 5, Scaling to Agency Income.
So how do you actually make the jump from a really busy freelancer into a high-earning agency? Well, scaling is all about efficiency. The blueprint suggests batch creating content, literally sitting down and writing an entire month's worth of posts for a client in just 2 deep focused days. It also highlights using templates and frameworks. You want to create swipe files of proven hooks and structures, so you aren't just staring at a blank page and reinventing the wheel every single time you sit down to write.
And to truly step into the role of an agency manager, you take those exact scaling mechanics a step further. Once your frameworks are absolutely rock solid, you bring on a junior writer or maybe a virtual assistant to handle the day-to-day engagement, and you train them on your specific proven process. Then you start productizing your knowledge. You could offer a content kit loaded with 100 proven hooks, or maybe even launch a group program teaching others your LinkedIn writing system. Suddenly, you aren't just trading your time for money anymore. You have a functioning team with defined roles. You've got a strategist, a writer, and an engagement assistant.
What's really fascinating in the source data here are the potential income milestones. As just a side hustle with maybe 2 or 3 clients, you're looking at bringing in around $3,000 a month. Transition that to full-time solo with 4 to 6 clients, and you're hitting around $9,000 a month. But when you implement that small agency model with a team and productized offers, you are looking at $20,000 or more every single month. That is the absolute ultimate potential of executing this exact blueprint. So, to summarize the core philosophy of this entire guide, your own LinkedIn presence is your living, breathing portfolio. When you stay relentlessly helpful, when you're engaging with your network and providing immense value on your own feed, that right there is your single best sales pitch.
Your ultimate job description literally boils down to this one simple sentence: make your clients look like the smartest people in their industry. When you do that, and when you consistently deliver measurable business results, like those inbound leads, the podcast invites, and the speaking gigs we talked about earlier, your services practically sell themselves. The return on investment becomes incredibly, undeniably obvious to the client.
We've unpacked the strategy, the pricing, the client acquisition, and the scaling mechanics directly from the source material. You have the blueprint, and you've seen the exact numbers. So what's stopping you from turning your writing skills into a $20K per month agency today? Think about that as you look at your own LinkedIn profile this week. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.
Welcome to the wrap. If you found this helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It helps more people find this content. Subscribe so you don't miss our next video, and check out the one on the screen right now. It might be exactly what you need next. See you there. And that's a wrap.